célébration. Would you please stand and proudly welcome St. Lawrence Secondary School's graduating class of 2014.
Nada, bloque
Je vous demande s'il vous plaît de lever pour accueillir le diplômé de la classe 2014.
Daarvoor. Vies.
One more graduation, I probably have it down pat. Anyway, hello graduates, parents, guardians, family, friends, staff, and special guests. Today I bring greetings on behalf of the trustees of the Upper Canada District School Board, and I'm pleased to congratulate you on becoming a graduate interschooling on St. Lawrence Secondary School. Before I get going, I tried this earlier, a little experiment, you have to bear with me for a second. Graduates, how many of you are on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat? I'm not looking for your specifics. I want you to do something. I want parents, if you're on Twitter as well, I want you to help me out with this as well. I want you to take as many pictures as you can and as many pictures as you want to tonight. I want you to take them and post them to social media. If you're on Twitter, I want you to do two things. I want you to do hashtags for me. I want you to do two hashtags. First hashtag is 2014 UCDSB grad. The second hashtag is SLSS. So I've got something ready for you guys that you can use.
Yeah.
We'll tweet that out. You'll see that that is a picture of you. That's my view for you tonight. I did this earlier at CCVS. I just want to see how many times we can get Upper Canada mentioned out there in St. Lawrence. Talk about the good things that we do within Upper Canada. Now to my main message. The Upper Canada District School Board has a goal of 90% graduation rate. Graduates, thank you for helping that come to life. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there because of you. We're getting one step closer every year. More importantly than our goal is our mission. Our mission is to prepare all students for a successful life. And graduates, what does success look like for you? Well, I don't want you to answer that just yet, but take a moment to think about it. You may think or have been told that success is based on the size of your bank account, the job you have, the trips you take, or the restaurants you eat at. I'm going to tell you it's probably not that. Before I get to my definition of success, I want to give you some advice that may help shape your own definition of success. Now, recently I attended a conference and I listened to Thomas Friedman, an author of the book called The World is Flat. The book's not on geography or refuting Christopher Columbus. It's about the reality of the competitive global economy. Friedman says that rather than finding a job, graduates today are going to have to invent one. It's challenging. He says average is not an option any longer. He goes on to quote Woody Allen. He says that 80% of life is showing up. Well, that was then, but that's not true today. You need to demonstrate your value. Based on what Friedman has said, having your diploma tonight, receiving a diploma at college or a degree at university, or going into the world of work, this diploma tonight is a key to open the door to your future. But it's merely that, just having the door open. It's at this point, once the door is open, it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you do with what you know. It's the grit and determination that you have that makes you above average. There's one more important fact that you must have in play to help you be above average. You need to do something that you have passion for. You need to find something that you love. So what's my definition of success? My success is to be a role model for my children, a person they inspire to be, a person that they want to grow up to be. Graduates, this room is filled with your parents, your guardians, and your grandparents. They're proud of what you're doing tonight. Somewhere back in their mind, they've checked off a box. Success. They've helped you along a journey in elementary school and secondary school. They've argued with you about whether this homework should be done that way or this way. They've achieved something. You've achieved something. It's not over though. My definition also includes to be a person to have integrity, loyal, be that person that gives the extra in everything that I do that makes me stand out among others. I thought it was important that you hear what a definition of success looks like from others. Since it's the World Cup, I found a quote from Pele, famous soccer player from South America. Pele says that success is no accident. It's hard work. It's perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you are doing or learning to do. So what should success look like for you, graduates? Well, it's entirely up to you, isn't it? Graduates, I thank you for allowing me to be part of your special day. Don't forget my social media experiment, 2 hashtags. I congratulate you on graduating today, and I wish you nothing but success. Thank you.
We now invite Mr. Tim Mills, the Executive Director of the Upper Canada Leger Centre, to share a few words.
greetings and congratulations, not only to the graduates, but to all the families and friends who are here. I'm really proud to be an employee of the Upper Canada School District. We're a high-performing board who puts students first. We care about our students' experience and care about our students. Tonight, this feeling and out in the hallway and
thank you.
In here tonight is a lot of energy, and that's a true testament to the school. We also believe all means all, and we're very, very proud of the fact that we take all students, and we have partnerships with the Oswestawson Mohawk Board, new Canadians, international students, and we're proud to serve the community of Upper Canada. We also want to congratulate Mr. Searle and Mr. Carter Edwards, the rookie on his left there, new vice principal this year. I want to tell you, Mr. Carter Edwards, that if you call anybody in the school board office next year, it's not going to work when you say I'm new here. So that will be a lot more pressure for you. To the school staff, I'm glad to see the school staff in front, the teachers and the support staff. The event tonight, but also there have been a lot of great things happening in the community at St. Lawrence, and that's a true testament to the staff and the hard work they put in. So thank you on behalf of the school board to the staff. Reflecting earlier this afternoon at CC that my graduation date was June 1984, which is 30 years ago, but I did notice that there were a few people in the room that had me beat in age. That's okay, because I want to acknowledge the grandparents. Certainly, the parents have played a huge role in shaping what's going on tonight for their kids. But I must be really proud to be a grandparent, to be here, to celebrate your grandson or granddaughter going across the stage. So how about a picture for the grandparents? So the graduates, Mr. McDonald took out his phone. I wanted to take a selfie. Actually, I was thinking about myself earlier, but I'm not going to. But you know, you pick up your phone or you look on your iPad or on TV and it's all bad news, right? That's what makes the news. So my challenge to you is not to listen to the bad news, because I can tell you back in 1984 when we graduated, there were no jobs. Things were bleak, the economy was going down, the interest rate was high. There were wars everywhere. There was all the things that are going on now. So if you listen to it, you believe in it, you won't look for a job, you won't give it your best, and you'll blame. So I encourage you to listen to all the good news. And the good news is that we live in a great city, a great province, and Canada is the best country in the world to live in. He's made a reference to soccer 3 times today, and the last time I checked, Canada was a hockey country. So on that note, I'm going to give you a quote from the coach of the Montreal Canadiens. They didn't do too bad this year, better than any other team in Canada. But Michel Terry has 3 non-negotiables for his team. And the first one, he says, non-negotiable on his team, that you have to work hard. And that can transfer into anything you do in your life. In fact, it transfers to any age in your life. You have to work hard in order to succeed. The second one is to be really passionate about what you do. And I know a lot of the teachers here personally, they don't treat teaching or the job
losing, it's about getting better. There are wins, and then there are things you learn from. And I can guarantee you when you go off to college, university, or the world of work, you're going to have some failures. So, I'll leave you with one last thing. When I came in tonight, someone said to me, "Are you behaving?" I said, "Well, yes. During the week, I'm behaving." But what I would say to the graduates, it's the last day of school, tomorrow's Friday. So have a little bit of fun and celebrate tonight, but have a happy, safe and healthy summer. And make sure you come back and visit your teachers once you go out. We'll be happy to see you. So thank you very much.
Achievements that you had, not only this year, but over the course of your high school career. So I start by saying good evening, guests, graduates, parents, grandparents, honored guests. Tonight is the time to reflect back on the journey, a journey that started out with hesitant, tentative steps, has been transformed into confident, deliberate ones. We see how far these graduates have progressed. 6 short years ago, you entered the halls of St. Lawrence Intermediate School. And as it has evolved and grown into St. Lawrence Secondary School, so have you. You have shaped our school and filled our lives with memories. You are an exceptional group of young people. I have admired your team spirit, your loyalty, your willingness to do things for others, perhaps above all, your positive attitude. I feel privileged to have known these young people and to admire their skills on the sport field, their talents on the stage, their determination in the classroom, and their kindness to others. It has been an honor and a privilege to be part of that journey. I would like to pay tribute to that this evening. But also, I would like the graduates to take a moment to look around the room and see the powerful support system that you have in your lives. Take a moment to think about the sacrifice, the caring, the love, the encouragement that has been given to you by not only the people in the audience, but people who could not be with us this evening. To the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, guardians, teachers, educators, you have all guided, molded, and shaped these ladies and gentlemen seated here with us this evening. Your role has been hugely instrumental in forging these young people. Our future seems destined to be in capable hands. The graduating class of 2014 has achieved exceptional accolades, perhaps too many to highlight this evening. I have experienced such pride when I have stood in the audience or on the sideline, or when I've picked up the paper and I see our actors, our athletes, our dancers, our humanitarians at work in our school and in our community. Suffices to say that I believe that the vast majority of you have strived to work to your potential. You aimed high, you set your goals, and for the most part, you not only reached them, but surpassed them. Ladies and gentlemen, as you face the inevitable challenges and changes beyond high school, hold true to yourself. Remember to hold on to your value system, your work ethic, and most importantly, your humanity. It is these qualities that will guide you further on your journey. Today's achievements may fade or even be forgotten. The applause may become a distant memory, and your certificates and medals may gather dust on shelves or in drawers. But you will always be remembered for caring enough, for helping someone, for making someone feel special and appreciated, and for being the kind of person that others enjoy spending time with. Your life is a remarkable occasion. I have no doubt that you will rise to it. I'd like to leave you with a few reminders as you move forward that I've gathered. Remember to say please and thank you. Leave things better than how you found them. Stay current with events in your community and the world by reading. Learn something new every day. Forgive others and forgive yourself often. At times you will fail, but no failure is ever fatal and no success is ever final. You are always being interviewed. Be mindful of what you say, how you dress, how you treat others. You never know who's watching or listening. Take advantage of the technology. It is at your disposal. But the best forms of communication are always voice-to-voice and face-to-face. Take time to unplug and connect with those close to you. Take advantage of each day you are given, for life is truly a gift. Make it a wonderful life. My hope is that you will all choose to be great. Thank you.
We want to remind the graduates that you're going to take your stairs on your right. You're going to come to the center. Accept your diplomas, pause for a picture, smile and enjoy the moment. And then you're going to descend the stairs in front of you and go back to your seats. A photo vision photographer is here in the audience today and will be taking pictures of each graduate. These photos can be purchased in the lobby following the ceremony. In addition, we've reserved some seats at the front for family and friends to come forward to take some photos as well. Please be considerate of others as you're doing so, and be aware of the movement of both our graduates. Jesse receives her Ontario Secondary School diploma this evening. Justin is receiving his Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Sarah Bird.
Reverend Reddy, would you come to the stage, please? Sarah receives her OSSD. She also receives a John Angus Carter Award for $250 for excellence. Scholarship for $500 for academic excellence.
Travis Blaney.
Travis is receiving his Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Shelby Wiley.
At this time, I ask Mr. Patrick Clark to come to the stage. Shelby is receiving her Ontario Secondary School diploma. She's also receiving a $100 SLSS bursary for outstanding leadership with Link Crew, a $200 staff bursary for overall academic excellence, and a $200 bursary from the Rotary Club of Cornwall for her participation in Interactive Club, which is being presented by Mr. Clark. She's also Austin is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma tonight.
Christine Bouchard-Lano.
Christine is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Anna Marie Bowery.
Anna is receiving her OSSD. She also receives an SLSS Student Council bursary for $100 for her contribution to the Interact Club, and she is a Heart Medal recipient.
Kimberly Bray.
Kimberly is receiving her OSSD. She also received the Dr. Natalie bursary of $500 for continuing her studies in science and biology. In addition to that, she receives the Character Always Trustees Award for $250 for academic achievement. She's receiving her French immersion certificate, and she is an Ontario Scholar.
Sadie Brown.
Sadie is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Megan Butler.
Megan is receiving her OSSD.
Heaven Carbonell.
Heaven is receiving her OSSD. She's also receiving the THB Simon Award for $100 for academic achievement and her French immersion certificate.
Brandon Clark.
Brandon is receiving his OSSD this evening.
Eric Compo.
This evening, Eric is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Jesse Compo.
Jesse is receiving his OSSD. He also receives the George T. Nev Scholarship of $1,000 for academic excellence. The Mary Smith Memorial Scholarship of $1,000 is awarded to a student going to a post-secondary institute, and for his dedication to St. Lawrence football program, he's receiving that as well tonight, and he is an Ontario Scholar.
Samantha Cote.
Samantha receives her OSSD. She also receives the St. Lawrence High School 50th Reunion Bursary of $125 and a staff bursary of $100 for academic excellence. She is an Ontario Scholar. bursary of $100 for academic excellence in outdoor education, a $100 bursary from the St. Lawrence Intermediate Teachers Bursary Fund. She's recipient of $400 from the Canadian Federation of University Leaders being presented by Ms. Stern, and she's an Ontario Scholar. Brendan is receiving his SLSS as well as a French immersion certificate this evening. Can I ask Danielle from Pierre to come to the stage, please?
I only have one thing.
Emily is receiving her OSSD. She's also receiving a watch from Pommier Jewelers for being a positive member of the St. Lawrence Secondary School community, which is being presented by Madame here. She's receiving a red seal for completing the specialist high skills major in health and wellness, and she's receiving a heart certificate.
Dad, when can I have coffee?
Taylor Dawson.
Taylor is receiving her Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Taylor Delaire.
Taylor is receiving her secondary school diploma.
Sierra de Montagnier.
And Sierra is receiving her secondary school diploma this evening.
Jeff,
And she's been done.
We now call upon Mr. Mills to join Mr. Searle to assist in the distribution of diplomas.
Danny Deneau.
Danny receives his OSSD. In addition, he receives a $100 SLSS staff bursary for his contribution to school life.
Edgar Denis.
Edgar receives his Ontario Secondary School diploma, a $100 student success bursary for contributing to school life, and a red seal for completing a specialist high skills major in health and wellness.
Michaela DeVries.
Michaela receives her Ontario Secondary School diploma, and also she receives the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 297 Award for $300 for academic excellence. And she is also an Ontario Scholar.
Jeffrey Dobson.
Jeffrey is awarded his Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Sean Amer.
Sean receives his OSST as well as a SLSS, or St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for academic achievement and healthy active living.
Madison Easton.
Madison receives our Ontario Secondary School Diploma. We also have Mr. Jonathan Campo from Jonathan Campo Cooperators Insurance, awarded a bursary of $250 for a contribution to the Safe Riding Prom. And she's also on here as well.
Rebecca Everson.
Rebecca receives her OSSD, a French immersion certificate, a heart plaque, an Ontario Scholar, a $250 scholarship from the Ontario Power Generation for continuing her studies in health and physical education, and the Art Anderson Award of $150 for athletic leadership and sportsmanship.
Alex Gates.
In addition to receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma, Alex also was awarded a heart certificate.
Amy Gilligan.
Amy receives her OSST, a heart certificate, an Ontario Scholar, a French immersion certificate, $150 from Filion trophies for her participation in athletics, and a $100 bursary from the St. Lawrence Secondary School Staff Bursary Fund for academic excellence.
Erica Gilmore.
In addition to receiving her OSSD, Erica also receives a $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary for academic excellence in Cornwall.
Jonathan Brew Levesque.
Jonathan receives his OSSD. He is an Ontario Scholar, receives a heart plaque, receives the St. Lawrence Intermediate Teacher Bursary of $100, receives the Art Anderson Award of $150 for athletics and sportsmanship. He also receives the Bear Smith Memorial Scholarship of $1,000, which is awarded to the student from a post-secondary institution and for his dedication to the St. Lawrence football program. And on top of that, he also receives the St. Lawrence College Student Success Bursary of $1,000.
Kylie Holiday.
Kylie receives her Ontario Secondary School Diploma, a Heart Medal, and a $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School Student Council bursary for her athletic involvement.
Julia Howard.
Cornwall, make a presentation. Julia receives her OSSD. She's an Ontario Scholar. Received $100 from Team Cornwall for her participation in Saints activities presented by Amanda Brisson. And also a St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary of $100 for academic excellence.
Bright Wong.
Wright receives his Ontario Secondary School diploma and a $50 bursary from the Upper Canada Leger Centre given to a deserving international student.
Amanda Jessup.
In addition to receiving her OSSD, Amanda also receives a Student Success Bursary of $100 for her achieving her goals.
Adriana Dugas.
Adriana received her OSSD, a Heart Certificate. She's an Ontario Scholar, and also received a $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary for academic excellence, and a $100 from the Danny Corville Memorial Bursary for athletic achievement.
Keezer Cameron.
Keezer is awarded his Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Jaypreet Khalsa.
He is an Ontario Scholar, receives a Heart Plaque, received $100 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School Bursary Fund for Excellence in Healthy Fitness Activities, $300 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School Staff Bursary Fund for Overall Academic Excellence, and a $100 bursary from OSSTF for academic achievement. Ty receives a Heart Medal for his participation in school extracurricular activities.
Dylan LaBelle.
In addition to being awarded his OSSD, Dylan receives $100 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School Staff Bursary Fund for his contribution to Saints Life. Tannis receives her Ontario Secondary School diploma. In addition, she receives $100 from Astro Printing for her interest and aptitude in arts, and also a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $200 for academic excellence in world history and in visual arts. Thank you, Mr. Searle. We now invite Mr. Carter Edwards to join Mr. Mills in the distribution of diplomas.
Hannah Lalonde.
Hannah is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma, as well as a $100 SLSS bursary for academic achievement in literacy.
Jordan Lalonde.
Jordan is receiving his OSSD, as well as a red seal for completing the specialist high skills major in hospitality. He's also receiving a $100 SLSS staff bursary for achieving his goals.
Tisha Lalonde.
She's receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma. She's also receiving a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $200 for excellence in mathematics and dance, as well as a heart certificate. Caitlin is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma. She's also receiving a Royal Canadian Legion Branch 297 Award for $300 for academic achievement, which is being presented now, as well as a $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary for excellence in Canadian law. She is also an Ontario Scholar.
Cody Lapierre.
Cody is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Jory Lavin.
Jory is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma tonight.
Krista Nadiviera.
Krista is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma with a red seal for completing the specialist high skills major in hospitality. She's receiving a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for excellence in hospitality, a $200 bursary from the St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary fund for her contribution to community events.
Ethan Lasselle.
Ethan is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma this evening.
Roxanne Laxton.
Roxanne is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma, as well as $100 from the Toronto Committee for her contribution.
Alex Lemoyne.
Alex receives an Ontario Secondary School Diploma, a Hart Medal, a Monsignor Rudy Villeneuve Scholarship of $500 for his leadership and participation in the Saints community presented by Reverend Fred Rennie. En plus, il reçoit son certificat d'immersion et une bourse de $200 du club Octogone pour son excellence en français présentée à Nathalie Robinson.
Megan Livingston.
Megan is awarded an Ontario Secondary School Diploma, a Heart Certificate, she's an Ontario Scholar, a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for excellence in drama. Elle reçoit aussi son certificat d'immersion et en plus, elle reçoit une bourse de $200 du Club Optimiste pour excellence en français, présentée par Nathalie Robinson.
Faisal Mahan.
Ontario Secondary School Diploma, as well as $100 from the St. Lawrence High School 50th reunion for academic achievement, $100 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School and his Ontario Scholar.
Amanda McDonald Lebanon.
Amanda is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma this evening.
Amanda McDougall.
Amanda also receives her Ontario Secondary School Diploma this evening.
Asama Mahmood.
Summer receives his OSSD.
Desiree Marcelette McDonald.
Desiree is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma, as well as $100 from the prom committee for her contribution.
Jamie McEwen.
Jamie receives his Ontario Secondary School Diploma, as well as $250 from the Society for the Promotion of Bilingualism for Excellence in French and English. The Character Always Prestige Award for $250 for demonstrating Character Always. A St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $300 for excellence in English, advanced functions, and biology. A French immersion certificate, a Hart Medal, and he is an Ontario Scholar.
Kyle McIntyre Sale.
Kyle is receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma this evening.
Caitlin Mingo Lenz.
Caitlin is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma this evening.
Amani Mahat.
At this time, I ask Amanda Briscoe to come to the stage, please. Bobby is receiving her Ontario Secondary School Diploma. She's receiving a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for academic excellence in hairstyling, as well as $100 from seeking Cornwall for involvement in St. Lawrence Secondary School, which was presented by the Middle School. She's also an Ontario Scholar. his Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Kristen Morel.
Kristen receives her Ontario Secondary School diploma, as well as the Student Council bursary fund of $100 for demonstrating state's character, and a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $200 for academic excellence in parenting and mathematics.
Olivia Myers.
Olivia is receiving her Ontario Secondary School diploma. She also receives an St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for academic achievement in English, and a red seal for completing the specialist high skills major in health and wellness. Zach is receiving his Ontario Secondary School diploma. Thank you, Mr. Miller. We ask Mr. McDonald to join Mr. Carter Edwards at this time in the distribution of our last group of diplomas.
Jody O'Donnell.
Jody is awarded her Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Alicia O'Shaughnessy.
Alicia receives her OSSD, also a Hart Medal, received the Board of Governors Entrance Scholarship of $500 for continuing her studies at St. Lawrence College, and the Ontario Winter Games Award of $1,000 for participation in athletics and community development.
Sarah Cantville Wood.
In addition to receiving her OSSD, she receives a French immersion certificate. She's an Ontario scholar. She also receives a staff bursary of $100 for academic excellence, and the MP Guy Lauzon Award of $100, and a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of another $100 for excellence in instrumental music.
Zach Griesbeck.
Zach receives his OSSD. Also a wash from Pony Jewelers for dedication to achieving his goals, presented by Angèle St. Pierre. And a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for academic achievement in communication technology.
Braden Reed.
Braden is awarded his Ontario Secondary School diploma.
Tina Bachado.
In addition to receiving her Ontario Secondary School diploma, Tina receives a $100 bursary from the prom committee for contribution to the school.
Sarah Runyons.
It's time to invite Ms. Monfort to come. Sarah receives her Ontario Secondary School diploma. Also, she received from Ms. Monford the Teen Cornwall Kawartha Credit Union bursary of $1,500 for her contribution to the St. Louis community. A red seal for completing the Specialist High Skills major in hospitality, and a $150 certificate bursary from Brown's Fine Food, and another $100 bursary for academic achievement, courtesy of the St. Lawrence Bursary Fund.
Blake Shannon.
Blake is an Ontario scholar, receives his Ontario Secondary School diploma, also obtains a French immersion certificate, a St. Lawrence bursary of $100 for excellence in French, and a Dr. Navin Neelan bursary of $500 for continuing his studies in biomedical science.
Hashtag Etherania, Savannah Family.
In addition to receiving our Ontario Secondary School diploma, Etherania also receives a French immersion certificate.
Zach St. Jean.
Zach, who is an Ontario scholar, receives his OSSD, also a red seal for completing the Specialist High Skills major in hospitality, a $100 bursary from the St. Lawrence staff for academic achievement in hospitality, and also a $150 bursary from Brown's Fine Foods.
Tessa St. Jean.
Tessa receives her OSSD, a Heart Certificate, and a St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary of $100 for academic achievement in vocal music.
Sarah Tahir.
Sarah receives her OSSD, $200 from the Optimist Club of Cornwall for academic achievement, a $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary for excellence in history. She's an Ontario scholar and also receives a $200 St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary for overall academic excellence.
Versika Dharmabala.
Tarsika, who is an Ontario scholar, is receiving her OSSD this evening, as well as a Heart Certificate. Also receives a Delaney Bus Line bursary of $150 for academic achievement, and a St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary of $300 for overall academic excellence.
Ramona Thurisingham.
Romano receives his OSSD. He is an Ontario scholar. He receives $200 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School bursary for excellence in calculus and chemistry, and also receives the Kinsman Club of Cornwall Cliff Beach Award of $250 for academic achievement presented by Mr. Neil Benjamin, and $300 from the staff bursary fund for overall academic excellence.
Brett Trusted Arthur.
In addition to receiving his OSSD, he also receives a red seal for completing the Specialist High Skills major in hospitality, and Brett also receives $100 from the St. Lawrence Secondary School staff bursary fund for achieving his goals.
Kumar.
Costa was an Ontario Scholar, receives her OSSD. Also receives a $125 St. Lawrence Secondary School Staff Bursary Award for overall academic excellence. The John, Robert, and Margaret Calley Award of $150 for academic excellence in English, and $125 bursary from Roxborough and Evans Bus Lines for academic achievement.
Elizabeth Bennett.
In addition to receiving her OSSD, Elizabeth also receives $100 bursary from the Army Navy Club for academic achievement.
Sky Wells.
Sky is awarded her Ontario Secondary School Diploma. Brittany is awarded her Ontario Secondary School Diploma. In addition to receiving his Ontario Secondary School Diploma, Kirkland also receives a $100 bursary from the St. Lawrence Secondary School Bursary Fund for Excellence in Physics.
Salma Youssef. As well as $100 St. Lawrence Secondary School Staff Bursary for overall academic excellence, a $200 bursary from the SLSS Bursary for Excellence in Science and Sociology. She also receives the Principal's Award for $100 for leadership, a $200 bursary from Photovision for contribution to the Saints community, and $250 bursary from Ontario Power Generation for overall academic excellence. Tayaba is awarded her Ontario Secondary School Diploma.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Mr. McDonald. At this point in time, we invite Mr. Woolley Dolmich.
This is Woolley Dolmich, a graduate of the class of 1984. That was the time when the hashtag was known as the number sign or the pound sign and was not found on my black rotary phone. Each year, we invite a former graduate to come back and speak to our graduating class to give a more senior perspective of life after graduation and the positive impacts you can make. This year's selection was by far one of the easiest we've ever had to make. This woman is a proud St. Lawrence grad of the class of 1972. She may not be happy with me for informing you of the year, but I told her there's no one anyways going to believe it anyway, so don't worry. Marlene Lalone, a long time. Yeah. Marlene Lalone, our longtime office administrator, is retiring soon, and so this is her final graduation. When reflecting reflecting on how to introduce her tonight, many things came in, popped to your mind, but one image, one thought always kept coming forward to me. She reminds me of this scene in The Wizard of Oz. Marlene, not the one you're thinking of, but the one, when Toto, he goes up and he pulls the curtain, and the wizard says, "Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain." You remember the scene, hopefully. Marlene is that person. She is the individual behind the curtain that makes all the magic happen. She is the silent partner that guarantees the success of the operation. She is the Norgay Tenzing to Sir Edmund Hillary. She is the Dr. John Watson to Sherlock Holmes. Or even better, sorry, Mr. Mills, the Don Henri to the greatest Bobby Orr. Marlene is one of the greatest graffiti artists St. Lawrence has ever produced. No, not for the marks that she scrawled in her textbooks and logs back in the early 70s. Turn to page 72. I love Rick. But on the marks and impressions she has left on the students, the staff, the family, and community. Marlene, there is a place like home, and it's St. Lawrence. It is with great pleasure that I introduce you, for the first time in front of the curtain, Mrs. Marlene Lowe.
Thank you. Good evening. I am honored to have been asked to speak with you tonight. I hope I don't stumble with my words, as I have done so many times in the morning announcements. I guess as a former St. Lawrence grad, I have a lot to share with you. Be assured, I won't do it. I just don't have enough time. I started at St. Lawrence in September '69, graduated in '72. I loved high school. I was your average student. Was in basketball, volleyball, gymnastics, track and field, and drama. My dream job was to become an air stewardess and travel all over. But I didn't meet the requirements. I was too short. So I became an RPN. I love nursing, especially when I was working with newborn babies. And I always thought, oh my God, this is the best job anyone can ever get. But it didn't last. As we so often see, I was part of cutbacks. I decided the best thing would be to take some kind of course and keep me up with the times. Computers were the in thing. So I took a computer course, and I figured if I can't get a job as a nurse, I could always work in a doctor's office. When my course ended, I got a co-op placement, right here at St. Lawrence High School. After that, I worked at different schools, but I ended up right here at my St. Lawrence, where I've been for the last 20 years. Now, going back to my life as a saint, one of the most exciting part of school life was football season. On Wednesdays, we'd have pep rallies before the game. We even walked from St. Lawrence, the old Citadel, the old St. Lawrence where Citadel is. We'd walk from there cheering and singing in the streets all the way down to CCBS. After the game, win or lose, we'd celebrate with a tea dance in the school gym, where some of our schoolmates would, I told you I'd mess it up, Some of our schoolmates would sometimes play with their rock band. We had Carnival Week in February. Every night was a different activity. Hockey, broomball, skating, talent night, carnival pageant, and of course, a dance. Over the years that I've worked at St. Lawrence, we had assemblies where teachers would get dressed and imitate popular bands or put on skits. And also, our school band competed in Florida and came back with a winning trophy. We also had some Saints championships at IASA. Over the years, working at St. Lawrence, I've watched students graduate and become lawyers, doctors, accountants, plumbers, mechanics. Some even came back as St. Lawrence teachers. And that was interesting. But I'd like to share an embarrassing moment when I was in high school. I was at a track meet, and wouldn't you know it, I forgot my running shoes. Does this remind you of someone? So I borrowed a pair from a friend. Here I am, starting the 50-yard dash, doing well, and oops, I tripped on my shoes. They were too big. And I fall flat on my face. I wasn't hurt, but I was so embarrassed, and I had a hard time getting up to face everyone. But I did it. My friends and teammates were laughing, but they were so supportive. I'm sure some of you have had some kind of experience like this. But you know, we are saints. And like the Energizer's bunny, we keep going. I could keep on and on, but if you want to hear more about the St. Lawrence life in the olden days, just come and see me. Graduates, enjoy your years now, just as I have. They are very precious. Keep those memories forever, and in 20 years or so, when you meet an old classmate and you start reminiscing, just like I did. Please remember today's actions and decisions may affect you down the road. Some things may not mean much today, but will mean everything later. Never lose track of your goals and ideals. Whatever career you enter, keep it interesting. If you have to, take courses and keep yourself up to date. It may mean keeping your job or getting a promotion. Never stop learning. Saints, I want to thank you. You have made my coming to school every morning interesting and very enjoyable. Working with you has kept me young at heart and kept me with ever-changing times. That's 3 decades of it. You've helped me understand my own teenagers, the pressure young minds face or are challenged with, be it in homework, exam, problems with friends, and so on. I wish you the best for the future, whatever road you take. Go, enjoy. Your life is just beginning. Thank you.
At this time, we would request that Mr. Searle and Mr. McDonald return to the stage to help present the special awards. Bronze medal is awarded to the student with the 3rd highest average within our graduating class. This year's recipient of the bronze medal is Ramona Percival.
انا عارف بس لسه برونز قديم برونز
Silver medal is awarded to the graduating student with the 2nd highest average in this class. Tonight, we recognize Mr. Jamie Hewitt.
I'm not going to say anything.
And finally, the Governor General's Academic Medal is awarded to the graduating student with the highest academic average. This year, we are pleased to announce that this award will be presented to Ms. Selma Youssef. And now, it is time to hear the voices of you, the class of 2014. Speaking on your behalf are the two individuals that you, the graduates, chose to represent you as the valedictorians. It is my pleasure to introduce the valedictorians of 2014, Ms. Selma Youssef and Mr. Jonathan Brewer.
Look at you all, professional and adult-like in your graduation robes. Good evening and welcome parents, teachers, and saints to the graduating ceremony of 2014. We'd like to begin by thanking you for putting your phones and iPods away. I know it was tough, but you can post your cap and gown pictures on Instagram later, I promise. And hashtag what you want.
It's our honor to stand here before you as valedictorians. Today is a very important day. Today marks a transition from high school to the real world, as our parents would put it. Saints, ever since our first day at St. Lawrence, we have been surrounded by a group of people there to support us, there to laugh with us, and there to push us to achieve bigger and better things. By being here tonight, we have decided that we are ready. We are ready to face the challenges in life head on. We are ready to accomplish great things in our community and in our careers. We are ready to do what it takes to succeed in life, and I know that each and every one of you will succeed. Life is too short for the Twitter wars or reality TV. It's too short to spend all day playing Call of Duty in your mom's basement. It's too short to worry about if those skinny jeans make your butt look big. Got graduated? Okay. Your crush started dating someone else? Whatever. Your friend typed a hideous photo of you on Facebook? Get over it. Life is too short for most of these petty situations we're faced with while trying to live it. Life has its ups and downs and all arounds. Just like in high school, you will have your good days and your bad days. You will feel ecstatic, melancholy, bored, tired, super tired, exhausted, happy, and content. Nothing can stop you from feeling the full range of emotions, both great and terrible. I mean, look at your parents, Saints. Firstly, I want to hear a huge round of applause for the people without whom we would literally not be sitting here today. Seeing you up here being handed your diploma is a big day for them too. But parents, since we were little youngins, we looked up to you for having the answers to life's greatest mysteries. You had us thinking everyone's got it figured out, and boy, did you have us fooled. You weren't fooling anyone anymore, though. We now know that everybody has it figured out, and that everyone is discovering life step by step. And I thought of a quote from Stephen Colbert that fits the situation perfectly. He says, "Don't be afraid to be a fool. Remember, you cannot be both young and wise." Young people who pretend to be wise of the ways of the world are mostly just cynics. Cynicism masquerades as wisdom, but it is the furthest thing from it, because cynics don't learn anything. Because cynicism is a self-imposed blindness, a rejection of the world, because we are afraid it will hurt us or disappoint us. Cynics always say no, but saying yes begins things. Saying yes is how things grow. Saying yes leads to knowledge. Yes is for young people. So for as long as you have the strength to, say yes. And yes, you heard right, I said Stephen Colbert. So hear me clearly and listen well. You, the graduating class of 2014, have the potential and the means to make something big out of your life. Something that you can look back at and go, it's your time now, it's our time now.
And when Netflix gives you those 8 seconds in between episodes to decide if you want to continue watching or not, all you have to do is say no and go do something legendary. And in the words of the great, wise, and famous philanthropist, Nicki Minaj, baby, it's your world, ain't it? Baby, it's your world, ain't it? So, Mr. Paninsky, if we don't remember the processes of the Calvin, if we don't remember the processes of the Calvin cycle, or Mr. Benjamin, if we might have forgotten the number of casualties in World War I, we learned that literature isn't about finishing the book only to take a test on it, but about digging deep into the piece and finding the true meaning behind the test, for most of us. Algebra isn't about getting the correct response like a calculator would, but about how to problem solve. What we're taking out of high school isn't the derivative of 4x cubed plus 5x squared, or who the 13th Prime Minister of Canada was. What we get out of this is the experiences and the life lessons we've learned from parents, friends, and teachers. By the way, it's 12x squared plus 10x, and John Baker. In grade 7, we were welcomed into the world of weird normality, high school, where we used to sprint past the grade 10 locker area just to avoid making eye contact, and the boys went through the coming of age ceremony, that's bathing in a tub of Axe body spray, which worked effectively to ward off the older grades. As the year wore on, you discovered new friends, new clothes, new hobbies, a new you. And then time passed and we occupied ourselves with the bigger questions of life. Who am I? What am I? Why do I feel fluttery in my stomach every time I'm next to them? What do I wear? Who do I talk to? Why is George R.R. Martin a relentless killing machine? Then soon enough came the, what do you mean I have to start planning for my future? Are you kidding me? What do I want to be when I grow up? I couldn't even decide what to pack for lunch. And the drama. She's dating him who hates them because they annoyed that guy. And he dated her who had a thing with him. And the tests, the stress, the homework, on top of the constant delusions that those teachers, I swear they're plotting against me. I'm on to Mr. Greenlee. And all these dilemmas and drama began to blur behind your routine, and you discovered who you are, and maybe even who you will be. And you truly begin to believe that everything's going to be okay. But now it's goodbye. Goodbye to these halls, goodbye to the teachers who taught us things worth knowing and brought back what we forgot. Goodbye to friends we'll never see again. That's why we have Facebook. Goodbye art room, drama room, CAF, classrooms, lockers, and then ungodly early morning bell. Endings never work out the way you want them to, and this one is no different. Like finishing the last chapter of a good book, or the How I Met Your Mother finale, for example. Endings are like flat tires, cold dinners, and stepping in wet spots with socks on. So the sort of thing that, no matter the effort, no one can get right. This is one of those days for us. Today we're saying goodbye to everything familiar and safe, and we're being exposed to a new world out there. But believe me when I say, there are far greater things ahead than what any we leave behind. What we can't do is live our lives afraid of the next goodbye and new beginning, because they're not going to stop. The trick is to recognize when a goodbye can be a good thing, when it's a chance to start again. Félicitations and congratulations, class of 2014.
Please remain on stage for a photograph. Mr. Connor Edwards, Mr. Sherwood. Right on. Cérémonie telle que celle-ci exige un effort et de la coopération de plusieurs institutions. Please join us in recognizing the St. Lawrence Secondary School office and teaching staff, the parent council, and the graduation committee, whose tireless effort and teamwork allowed for tonight's ceremony. We'd also like to thank our honored guests for their greetings and messages of encouragement.
Following the ceremony, there will be a reception for the graduates in the foyer with cake prepared by the section band member students. You will also have the chance to purchase those photo opportunities. Parents, you're welcome to take photos of your graduates in their gowns, but graduates, we remind you that you must return your gowns before leaving tonight. At this time, you'd have to stand to rise and line the aisles. And we ask all guests to remain where you are as our graduates prepare to take their final processional out of the auditorium. Thank you again. And once more, congratulations to our graduating class of 2000.